Hamlet, a tragedy by William Shakespeare. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Just kidding, it's Denmark. Where's Denmark? It's a tiny little country between Germany and Norway, right about here. Act 1, Scene 1. Two guards stand watch, and they make some funny comments, but then one of them has to leave. As he is leaving, they hear a noise, and it's Horatio and another guard. They chat for a moment about a strange occurrence, when suddenly, BAM! A ghost appears. And everyone's like, hey, that looks like the dead king because he's wearing the armor he wore in that battle against Norway. We should tell Hamlet that his dad's ghost has appeared. Scene 2. Inside the castle the next day, the new King Claudius is addressing his court. He finishes, and Prince Hamlet is looking sad in the corner, so he tells the prince to stop moping about. Claudius and Gertrude leave, and Hamlet, alone on stage, talks about suicide. Horatio comes in and tells him to cheer up because his dad's ghost has appeared. Scene 3. Elsewhere in the castle, Ophelia and her father Polonius are having a conversation about Hamlet. Her dad basically says she's only valuable so long as she stays chaste. In walks her brother Laertes, and Polonius tells him to be careful with money. Polonius leaves, and Laertes starts telling his sister to remain chaste. Scene 4. That night, Hamlet goes with Horatio to see if the ghost will appear again. It does, and before it can go, Hamlet says, wait, don't go. Scene 5. The ghost and Hamlet go off to talk alone, and the ghost tells Hamlet that he is, in fact, the dead king, and that he needs Hamlet to get revenge for his untimely death, because he is stuck in purgatory until his murder has been avenged, and Hamlet is all, wait, murder? And the king says, yeah. Claudius put poison in my ear while I was sleeping. Act 2, Scene 1. Ophelia and her dad are talking, and Ophelia is like, Hamlet has gone mad. She means he's really upset. And Polonius is like, I bet he's in love with you. We should tell the king. Scene 2. Polonius tells Claudius that he's pretty sure Hamlet has been so moody because he loves Ophelia. And Claudius is like, great, let's just spy on him. Polonius then confronts Hamlet, and Hamlet acts like he's insane. Polonius leaves because Hamlet is weird. Then some actors show up and agree to perform the murder of Gonzago, and Hamlet tells them to add an extra scene of his father's death so he can decide if Claudius is guilty. Act 3, Scene 1. Claudius and Polonius set up Ophelia as bait for Hamlet. They spy on Hamlet as he talks about suicide and gives the very famous "to be or not to be" speech. Ophelia enters, and they exchange some back and forth, and Hamlet is incredibly rude and tells her to get to a nunnery, which means he thinks she's a slut. Claudius decides to send Hamlet away to England. Scene 2. The play has started, and Hamlet is hanging out with the gang and starts making lewd comments towards Ophelia. The king's death happens on stage, and Claudius leaves the room during the murder, which Hamlet decides means he is guilty. Scene 3. Claudius confesses to God, but now Hamlet can't kill him, because since he is confessed, he is going to heaven. Hamlet decides to confront Gertrude. Scene 4. Polonius and Gertrude are deciding what to say to Hamlet, when Polonius hides in the curtain as Hamlet appears. Hamlet is angry at his mother for marrying Claudius. He attacks her, and she calls for help, leading to Hamlet killing Polonius. A rat! A rat! He is very angry with his mother, but then the ghost appears, but only Hamlet can see him. The ghost tells him to get revenge. Hamlet takes Polonius's body and threatens his mother to not let anyone know he is actually not crazy. Pretty sure Gertrude thinks he's crazy. Act 4, Scene 1. Gertrude tells Claudius that Hamlet killed Polonius, and Claudius decides to send Hamlet away again. Scene 2. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, some of Hamlet's buddies from school, are invited to help spy on Hamlet earlier in the story. They ask Hamlet where the body of Polonius is. Hamlet insults them for working behind his back and refuses to tell them. Scene 3. Claudius asks Hamlet where the body is, and Hamlet implies that it is hidden in the lobby. Claudius tells Hamlet he is going to be sent to England. Hamlet leaves the stage and Claudius tells the audience that he plans to have Hamlet killed on the way to England. Scene 4. Hamlet is out in the countryside when he sees Fortinbras, the Prince of Norway. Hamlet watches Fortinbras wage war, and it inspires him to get revenge. Scene 5. Ophelia goes crazy and starts singing about herbs. Laertes shows up wanting revenge for his father. Claudius and Laertes make a plan to kill Hamlet. Scene 6. Horatio receives a letter that Hamlet is alive and not in England. He was captured by some pirates and they helped him out, and now he wants Horatio to send letters to the king and queen. Scene 7. Claudius and Laertes plan to poison Hamlet while fencing. Gertrude tells them that Ophelia has drowned in the creek. Act 5, Scene 1. Two gravediggers are making silly comments about death when one leaves as Horatio and Hamlet arrive. Hamlet muses on the meaning of death with the "Alas, poor Yorick" speech. But nearby Ophelia is being buried, and Hamlet hides and watches as Laertes goes a little nuts and jumps into the grave with his sister, saying that they might as well bury him with her, since he is the only member of his family left alive. Not wanting to be shown up in love for Ophelia, Hamlet jumps out saying, "'Tis I, Hamlet the Dane." Hamlet and Laertes begin to fight over who loves Ophelia more, and it ends with Hamlet challenging Laertes to a duel, which is perfect for Claudius. Scene 2. Hamlet has a conversation with some pirates to have Rosencrantz and Guildenstern murdered on their way to England for siding with Claudius. Suddenly a person shows up saying, "Hey, let's do this duel right now." And Hamlet just says, "Sure." Hamlet and Laertes make up, and Hamlet doesn't feel the need to fight anymore, but Claudius encourages them to continue, so they choose their swords. Laertes takes a while looking for the poisoned one, and Gertrude toasts the two with the poisoned wine meant for Hamlet, and dies. Laertes cuts Hamlet with the poison blade. Hamlet takes Laertes' sword and stabs him right back. Laertes confesses the blade is poisoned, and Hamlet stabs Claudius, and then forces him to drink the wine for good measure. Hamlet, Laertes, and Claudius all die. Fortinbras comes in and becomes the new king. He orders burials for all the deceased. The end.